Hi, 5th and 6th grade. So I know I threw you for a little bit of a loop. I think I threw some of y'all for a loop when I told you to stop the 10-day challenge. And here's my reasoning. First of all, I miss you guys. This is going to be a weird time, but we're going to make it through, and we're going to do it as gracefully as we can. Anyway, so we're doing the 10-day challenge, and some of the drawings that were coming in were fabulous. So much detail, so much thought, and good consideration were going into your artworks, and I totally recognize the hard work that you are doing. But here's what I also know. I know a lot of you all, I think we're getting pretty overwhelmed. I think a lot of folks are trying to do a really good job from home and making sure that you have all the materials and all the information that you need to be successful. And sometimes that can look like a lot of work. And if I do that, and then ELA does that, and then math does that, and then science does that, and it compounds and it builds, it's going to be too much. So we are going to pull it back, because I could tell in some of the other drawings, y'all were a little tired, a little exhausted. And I get it. I totally understand. It is not easy being in your shoes. So we're going to switch up the plan. I hope that you're okay with it. So 5th and 6th grade, 8th period, 5th and 6th grade combined class. What we're going to be doing should be very familiar to you. And if you already have your drawing that you started the other week, you're going to be able to continue with it. In 6th grade, my 3rd period class in the morning, this is going to be, we started talking about this the Thursday before everybody was out for e-learning the other week. But now you're going to be able to jump into it, and we're going to start to do some one-point perspective. This is something that everybody in 5th and 6th grade needs to know in order to be successful starting really in the 7th grade, when we talk about 2-point perspective and, you know, expanding upon that. So anyway, I'm going to flip my camera. This is my garage. Welcome to my garage. Where's the garage? There's, see, some doors. There's another door. This is my little art space, and there's paintbrushes and paints and all sorts of stuff all over the place. But I cleaned it up so we can, this is the new classroom for now. So here we go. I'm going to be showing you all the 1-point perspective drawing that we're going to be taking care of. This is sort of a halfway done drawing, and then I'll show you what we're doing, and then we're going to flip to a fresh page and we'll all start together. So those of you who already started this is your opportunity to restart if you want to, or you can sort of make sure that you did everything correctly, and then when we get to the point that you are able to jump back in again, just jump back in. And again, when you're watching me do the demo, pause, rewind, fast forward, do what you got to do to get to the end point. We'll do a Google Meet on Wednesday. If you have any questions, I'll send out an invite for that. We'll do a Google Meet. And then the drawing I'll expect to be done on Friday. So you'll have this video for the beginning of the week. I'll send out another video midweek so you can see how to build your drawing. And then I think the end of the week, we'll sort of gauge it. We might do the beginning of the week next week to have it all done. So anyway, again, we're going to slow down. We're going to relax. We're going to take a deep breath. Life will be okay. All right? So here we go. Let me turn it around. Okay. So see, now it's just like back in the classroom, guys. It's just like how it was. Okay, so this is a 1-point perspective drawing, and you may have done stuff like this in the past, but we're going to kind of expand upon it, make it look a little bit more sophisticated. So again, we're going to be drawing just sort of a city street, and we've made some structures here that we're going to be turning into buildings. We have a sidewalk and a center lane, and we'll end up putting some background and stuff like that in there. But here's what you need to know. Any angled line that we draw is going to go towards one central vanishing point. So those of you in my 8th period class, this is going to be very familiar. You have one central vanishing point where all typical horizontal lines would go towards. And any other line that you draw is either vertical or it's completely horizontal. If you're facing it head on from this point of view, it's completely horizontal, completely laying down and straight. So there's only 3 kinds of lines really in this drawing. There's either vertical, horizontal, straight, straight, not a lot of straights, the bottoms. So if you're facing it, it's going to be straight. And then there's also all of these angled lines called orthogonal lines, which go towards your vanishing point. Okay, so this is where you need to be by Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. Okay, that's what you need to have. Okay, all right. So I'm going to flip my little sketchbook here, and I'm going to show you how to get started and how to build your drawing to get to this point. So let's see. There we go. All right. So what you're going to start out by doing, if you don't have a ruler, and surprise, surprise, I have all sorts of tools here, but I cannot locate my ruler. So all I did was I took a page from my sketchbook, I tore it out, and then I just folded it in half really neatly. And I'm just going to use this as my straight edge. I'm not actually needing to measure anything, so I don't have to worry about numbers. So go ahead and just get a page, fold it in half so it's kind of stiffer, it's a little bit tougher, and you're going to use that as your straight edge. Super easy. You have no need for a real ruler. So to start this 1-point perspective drawing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my straight edge. Let me adjust my camera. Sorry, guys. Okay. I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to hold it sort of kind of in the middle. So I have the top half of my page and then I have the bottom half of my page. I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the bottom half of my page. And I'm going to make sure it's super straight, super horizontal, laying down. And I'm going to make this line that splits the top half from the bottom half. And that's called my horizon line. And then right smack in the center, I'm going to put an X. And that X is my vanishing point. So make sure you have a vanishing point there. That's where all of your top and bottom lines for your structures are going to go towards, okay? Vanishing point is very, very important. All right, so we're going to start out with actually making the street and the sidewalk, which is going to help us build everything else. So to start that, I'm going to, let me think. Go ahead and just go right towards the corner from the vanishing point, right to the corner of your page on both sides. Again, this is super easy, just as long as you hold that paper down. And this is going to start building our sidewalk and street. And then what you're going to do at that point is make the sidewalk area. So I'm going to come, make sure my edge of my ruler, edge of my straight edge stays on the vanishing point. I'm going to come away from the bottom about 1.5 inches right there. And then I'm going to draw a nice line. I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So make sure that my straight edge stays right dead center on that vanishing point. I'm going to pull away, estimate about 1.5 inches at the bottom of my paper, and I'm going to pull back. All right, so that's what you need to have to get started with the sidewalk. Okay, now, again, if you need to rewind at any point, you know what to do. So at this point, you need to kind of understand and imagine what it's like for things to get further away. And so when things are further away, they compress, they get smaller and smaller. So what we're going to do with our sidewalk slabs is we're going to hold our ruler nice and straight up and down, and we're going to make very small horizontal lines right within that orthogonal shape that we made before. So right straight across. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, right straight across. Again, hold your ruler super straight so it's parallel with your top line and then your sidewalk line. And as you come towards you can allow a little bit more space in between. So I'm going to just make really straight lines. Don't tilt your paper or anything. That'll give you a wacky looking sidewalk. You want to go straight across, All right. And I'm going to keep on expanding and expanding. Boom. And as I get about midway through that street, I can give myself a little bit more space. And they're going to look bigger as they go down. You're going to be looking so fancy as you draw these up. Okay? Let me see. I just had to make sure I was staying straight for the camera for you guys. And then finally, you want to make sure that you kind of end it well. And it's going to start to look like you can just like step right in there. We're creating depth within a picture. We're making sure, we're making sure that we can give the illusion that there's a lot of space to walk into. All right, so that is the beginning of the sidewalk. Now we have to make it look like we can step onto the sidewalk. And so to do that, what we're going to do is make a little skinny space. And we don't want to make it too big. This is like 1/4 of an inch right here at the bottom. And again, we want to run right up to the vanishing point. And it's going to converge, whoops, or come together at that vanishing point and come away. All right? Well, that's not exactly straight. Hold on. Boop. And then one more time. Again, just 1/4 an inch. We want to make it look like we can step up. Now, this next part is the part that kids have the toughest time with. What you're going to do is make sure that you're staying totally vertical and parallel with the side of your paper now. And all you're doing is making a really straight up and down line, just as straight as the side here, to make that little step up onto the sidewalk. So I'm going to start where my horizontal line is and just come straight down within the orthogonal space. Here's the mistake most kids make. They do like this. Okay, they take the shortest distance to that other orthogonal line, and that's going to mess you up. It's going to ruin your illusion. So you want to make sure that you go totally straight up and down, and it's a long distance between that first orthogonal line and that second orthogonal line. So make sure that you go really, really straight. And I'm used to doing it, so I'm going to zip right through here. And again, as it goes away, as these lines converge together, you're going to have a lot less space to work. So you can give the idea that there's something, but again, you're not going to go the whole entire way. So boom, sidewalk, voila. Isn't that cool? All right, so the next up, we're going to do some street lines. So I'm going to kind of estimate where my middle is. Actually, I'm going to make a little mark where my middle is. Make a little mark at the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is stay about 1/4 of an inch away from that center line. Come down 1. And you want to do that again. Make sure you're converging at your vanishing point. 2. Okay? And then you're going to do that one more time. And these are little double yellow lines in the middle of our street. Again, stay that 1/4 inch away from that center line. Make sure you're right smack on your vanishing point. Nothing should go past it. Nothing should go on the outside of it. Boom. And then one more time, make sure that these widths are about even. Bada bing. Bada boom. Okay, so then there you go. There's a middle street. I'm going to get rid of this. You're going to be doing a lot of erasing during this kind of drawing because it's all about creating illusions. So draw light till it's done right. So that is part 1. And if you get that done, today, Monday, then you're going to be in good shape. I'm going to do this in parts. So I'm going to do part 1, part 2, because this is getting to be a pretty long video. So anyway, this is part 1, Monday's work. If you can do this for Monday, you are in great shape, 5th and 6th grade, okay? All right, you guys, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Get your street done. We'll have a check-in on Wednesday. And so the next day, tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll be doing our side buildings. And if you want to work ahead, I'll have that video available for you. Okay? All right, guys. Happy drawing. Let me turn this around. Be good. I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye.